Today on the Call The Midwife After Show, another lighthearted romp through an episode with Huntington's disease. Then we had, that's right, Chris and Trixie hit the skids with Trixie hitting the sauce. And on the lighter side, with a midwife in a beauty pageant, Miss Congeniality becomes Miss Congenitally. That and more in just a minute.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
All right, welcome everybody. I've got to learn to write those down if I'm going to do them. I shouldn't do them on the fly.
They're so good.
All right, thanks for joining us. I'm John Comerford, joined in the studio by beauty pageants in their own right, Miss Asti Spumani, Tamara Berg.
Hi, everybody.
Miss Cabernet Sauvignon, Courtney Stewart.
Hello.
For those of you who have never seen this, you're wondering why I use that term. They're imbibing as we speak.
Yes, we are. We're having tea.
Yes, tea.
Oh, but it's fortified, as they
Yes,
say.
fortified, yes.
In a different way.
All right, so I was just trying to make light art of such difficult. I was just really Huntington's. We're gonna go there, and then we had the kids and the daughters, and it's just come on. I was throwing the flag. Really, they're playing unfair at this point.
Yes.
They're throwing
100%
everything at
unfair.
us.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out how we can, get through this and have some fun and some levity.
Something.
Yes, and thank God they had the popular beauty pageant and Fred and Violet getting in on it because we needed some respite. So let's start in with the nuns. So what do we think of this?
Oh, my.
Human suffering is real. Like, that was the worst.
There were so many layers of pain in this story, you know? So we'll get into it, but so many layers of pain of each individual's heartbreak, of, the further heartbreak as we learn more information, the continued heartbreak of how they deal with the heartbreak, the goodbyes, the challenges. It was just, layer upon layer. It was a veritable onion that makes you cry.
I mean, just the fact that when we first go to the nuns, it's Phyllis that goes, and you see the conditions that they're living in, and we're just like,
Yes.
and then of course, Phyllis is like, let me do a tidy up before your husband comes home. And
Always looking on the bright side, those midwives.
Exactly, and she decides, well, we should have you in the hospital. And then, of course, the husband comes in. And, he's not going to have any of it. And you're going, oh, he's one of these guys. He doesn't, And the look on Phyllis's face, it's like, I guess the husband made a decision, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you think he's that guy.
Exactly.
But it turns out he's not that guy.
Not at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Not at all.
And I was like, what is going on? And that part was good because, I had no idea what they were going for with her disease or whatever it was.
No.
And the way it was portrayed, it's like, I don't know anybody with Huntington's. I don't know this disease at all. And I was just
Thank
like,
God.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I'm assuming it's as accurate as you would expect from the show, but I was just,
Terrible.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just quickly reading that these days, there's around 200,000 cases of Huntington's in the United States now. We have, what'd you say, 650 million?
350 million.
Oh, 350 million, sorry. And so that's, minute percentage of a percentage. Yeah. So incredibly rare. And they kept saying it's incredibly rare, incredibly rare. But we had the Mrs. Lund.
Yeah.
Showing, physicalizations that were quite strange, her.
Yeah, and I thought it was nice that they took the moment to show you that she did the needlepoint and she could sew and she did all those things, and clearly that has debilitated now. She can't do anything, and they can't even keep up not only the place, but her children are in,
right,
in squalor.
Yeah, so we saw Wendy at school, who looked like, a kid from the street.
Yeah, but also she had that zombie
stare, like she was unbalanced, and
Yeah.
it was just all like, what's going on with her? I thought she was getting beat on. Like, I didn't know where to
Of course,
go
there
with
was
this.
because they already
all over her body.
Like, where are we going?
And they'd already set up the dad as being no, I'll have none of that.
But then you also
a little
know,
misdirection.
We've already sort of done like the man beater, like that kind of situation. So I was like, they have to do something. Like it's not that, but what the heck is it going to be? Because obviously it's affecting mom and daughter, and mom doesn't love us anymore. Like I just. so overwhelming. And everything about the midwives, like trying to make things a little bit better each time. Like, let's go to the doctor, but it makes it sort of worse because they find out horrible information. So the midwives can't fix everything. And then in the end, when they're all separate, it fixes nothing.
It fixes nothing. And I when Trixie, she says, I'll do everything I can, and she promises.
I promise I'll do everything I can to help you all. Just prior to that, her shoving her way into the apartment,
nice.
I really like, again, that's one of those noble, standing up for what's right things.
Put us up in harm's way, because we don't know this. In our mind,
we think it might be the guy still.
Exactly.
Yeah. But she made her way in because that was what was important.
And that, especially because that's when we start to turn and we start to see what's really going on, and that he's really trying to be noble because he's trying to keep his family together, and you're just going, oh.
Good news, not a brain tumor.
No, except you're just disintegrating in front of everybody for the rest of your short life.
And then to learn that it's passed on, and I thought it was interesting.
And progressive.
Yes,
like it's not going to stay like this. It's going to get worse.
Of all things.
No cure, no treatment. She will not be able to live at home. 50% chance that the kids have it.
Yeah.
And then she goes into labor.
Yeah.
And that was a very intimate birth.
And again, never seen it.
Never seen this one before.
Never seen the birthing chair.
So they're in the
facility,
not the clinic, but I guess it is in the hospital, the maternity ward. And Phyllis, very one-on-one, very close, very intense, very intimate. What can I do for you? What do you want? All I want is quiet.
And then the birth was quiet.
And
they were just
and those just moments. It was so quiet.
Stairs.
Small pushes, gently.
It was
no screaming.
Yeah, that was the quietest birth on Call The Midwife.
It was kind of uncomfortable for me. I was like, and then it was almost like they were staring in each other's eyes, like because she's focused, and I just was, wow, we haven't had that.
I got to tell you, I have been in attendance at one birth, and the mother.
2, actually, you were there for your own.
I was there for mine. The mother said to me, I was kind of in her face, and I was like, come on, you can do it. And she barely gasped out, stop yelling at me. Because there were like 4 people around, you were
the coach from last week.
Yeah, exactly. The coach from last week. Stop yelling at me. So all I want is quiet.
That was intense.
It was intense. Yeah.
It looks like the baby's fine. We don't know.
Yeah.
And who knows if they'll ever, when they'll know.
When they'll know.
Yeah. But and then of course they make the effort. They clean up the house. Trixie does a great job going over there, setting everything up. Phyllis talks about it. And then, of course, we learned the next time that they go back that the baby's nappies haven't been changed. And that was just right there. I mean, that was like, okay, can't handle that.
Rash,
I can handle the birthing, all that stuff. Give me the surgery channel.
Diaper rash.
Yeah, don't show me a poor baby. Exactly.
I can't do the diaper.
I can't. It's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Because you feel the pain and the baby's hurting and she can't do anything. But you can't be mad at mom.
No.
You can't be mad. There's nobody to blame.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to do about it except.
You can't do a thing. And what else are you to do? What else can you do? You know that the child's not safe there.
Yeah.
And dad can't stay home. So what do you?
So you have to take them.
Yeah. It's like, oh man.
So the baby's going to go to foster care. Wendy's going to go to a residential home. She leaves thinking her mom doesn't love her.
Right. But they did say that, which is nice. I'm glad they took the moment in the place where mom's like non-existent, not even there. And I think that was great. And and of course it all goes to Trixie's storyline too, because she sees all that, so that weighs on her because of Alexandra. But I like that they took the moment outside where you do see there's that person still inside somehow.
Yeah, and she can't, that scarf.
Yeah, but what about the kid? What about
when
brother?
the brother hugged her?
Oh my God, that was the moment I lost it. He was his face, his performance was brilliant.
Yeah.
And he's losing his best friend, he's losing his sister.
Yeah.
He's losing everything. He had a bag. He's gonna lose his mom too.
Yeah,
That's just over. And how do you explain that? How do you live? What kid? I can't even imagine. Just can't. But then you have to imagine that. I mean, it's happened to families that can't take care of their kids before, and they
Right.
can't afford to like hire somebody to live with them and whatever. So there had to be a better way, guys, because they separated everybody.
So then when Trixie drops
Wendy.
off at the home,
Residential home.
for
They
children,
look happy.
the girl with the hula hoop is out front. She was going to be sore the next day because she hula hooped for like 2 hours. How many takes did
get
that
that shot.
require? There were
But I mean, I was going, okay, because I needed my own levity. So in my brain, I'm going, what has she got?
I know, what's wrong with her?
Exactly.
Yeah, she had a posture with her hands that made it look like she may have some sort of
Something,
neurological thing.
But I thought it was even more interesting that they
could still
took the
hula hoop.
moment with the blonde, which I think was obviously the parallel to Alexandra, who's just staring at the
the
wall,
wall.
and you see Trixie look at her, and you know that's weighing on her, and all this other stuff. They took the moment there so that, it's just...
And then the conversation between Wendy and Trixie, where Wendy says, "Everyone looks happy.
Yeah,
Then why
So
are
why are
they
they
here?
here?"
Because it's the best.
because it's the best thing
Which
for
is-
them.
yeah, it's like-
the only option.
What? And I go, really? This is the best we got?
Is it?
And I'm wondering, how much better is it now?
Now, I'm guessing that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, well, in that situation now, what
Yeah.
would happen? Like, and I don't really know that anything that different would.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
Yeah, that's why it
like
was brutal.
painful.
Exactly. We go to 1963 to comment on now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, really? And that many years, nothing's...
Well, but I mean, there's been little advance
Sure.
as far as treatment of that
Treatments.
disease.
Yeah, the
Need to
particular
slow it
disease, but how
down.
we handle those diseases as a society. How much has that moved?
Yeah, I have a friend who went to Mexico for dental work. So.
Yeah,
And there you have it.
there you
Yeah.
go. So I guess that was the end of it, right? Because
Well,
lived there, and
you
then-
and when in the end, it is Mr. and Mrs. Lund alone.
Alone.
right,
home.
yeah,
And their future is
unknown.
Grim.
Yeah,
grim
grim, that's
because
true.
he's going to watch her continue to disintegrate and have to try to take care of her. And eventually she's not going to be able to be at home.
Right.
And then do the kids come back? Because
Like, could
at
he
what
not
point?
be a single dad? Like, couldn't the son stay? Like, I just don't, it was too much.
Yeah.
That
And
was
the
a
whole,
killer.
and then of course with the theme of being what is family and all this other stuff, you're
Yeah.
going, this was a family. Is it still a
Yeah.
family if they're not together? Is it?
Right.
What
Well,
is
They
family?
said family can wound you.
Yeah, that's right.
Your genetics can wound you.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. It was horrible.
That was terrible.
It was terrible.
It was terrible.
It was terrible. But it was nice, just in terms of the writing and the structure of this particular episode, how they paralleled, Trixie's storyline with that.
Very well done.
'Cause,
Yeah. Is that where we're going?
yeah,
to
yeah, we're going
next?
there with Dr. Chris and the daughter, and how she's having difficulty, and what is it? She's bedwetting, and what else? What are the symptoms? She's not
She's
sleeping,
nightmares.
and all this other stuff, and the ex-wife wants her to go see a psychiatrist and all this other stuff, and then it's decided that she needs more structure, and that
It has fixed rules.
fixed rules, yeah, and then maybe she doesn't have to see Trixie and all this other stuff. And I'm just going,
Writings on the wall, man.
"Jeez." Yeah, and
Right, but then the other thing he said, I mean, he's sort of talking out of both sides of his mouth. She needs to not see you if she doesn't want to, but she loves you almost as much as I do.
yeah, well, like you said, but he also, I'm trying to do anything I can to make this work. We'll find a way and all this other stuff. What else?
complex.
Yeah,
It's a rock and a hard place.
So, yeah,
There's
it's just like
nothing
that family.
that can be done.
That family.
Yeah.
So, no good answer out of that one.
No good
Yeah,
answer.
exactly, no good answer out of the Lunds. And okay, so and then when she sees all this other stuff with Wendy and the Lunds, her only decision.
I need you to understand something else. I want you to go back to your wife.
It's like,
If I had a nickel,
what?
I don't know what that means.
Go back to your
Yeah.
wife?
Yeah, and of course, I thought that was a great scene, the way he's playing. So, well, she's my ex-wife, I don't love you.
wife,
And
I
yeah, I
love
mean,
you.
it's all about duty and
Yep.
yeah.
But
what's
then-
right for the
Kid first.
child.
I mean, the-
and-
The story about how the girl will grow up.
yeah,
And the kicker, if you don't do everything you can to create a safe and secure,
Secure.
I can't read my own handwriting, secure life for that child, I won't feel the same way about you.
Which is true. Because you look
Yeah.
at him and you want him to, you
Well,
love
yeah,
him
it's what
because
you-
you love what he is.
yeah,
and
because who he is and stuff like that. And if he betrays who he is in that regard, what's to love?
He's got to put his daughter first.
Yeah. So,
She's an
'cause
incredibly principled woman, that Trixie.
I know I liked the phrase "poised to run." take flight.
Yeah, I was thinking there was a little projection there. A little, little I know how she feels.
Oh yeah.
From
Sure.
Trixie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, he just had the echo of Wendy
Yeah.
sitting there. So that was a great scene, though.
So dark.
And we had just had such great hope from the last one. They were getting
So
along
dark.
so great.
Well, you knew it was gonna go
Of
left
course,
because
of
there's
course.
a daughter involved. And, I mean, that goes left now, and we accept almost anything now. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, but I didn't want to see it happen to poor Trixie. Not again.
Unlucky in love, Trixie.
Okay, so what were you thinking? What were you saying when you saw the cocktail and she's got it in her hand?
I know she did the speech as soon as she told him, because
Yeah.
when she started talking about if you leave her, you don't stand up for your daughter, or whatever she was saying,
Yeah.
to the effect of like you'll leave her alone and she'll
Yeah.
always feel whatever all that was. I was like,
Yeah.
she's gonna go back to the bottle.
Yeah.
Because she's talking about being alone and why there's and what is she going to turn to? She turns to the bottle, and that's her comfort because she has those feelings. And I didn't want it for her. She was winning. God, she was winning. And dang it. Why, guys? Why?
Yeah.
And her hair was winning the whole episode.
Oh my gosh. Okay, one of the things I kept thinking was her hair was quite elaborate from the back a lot of times because they were doing a lot of creative shooting around Helen George because of the
Pregnant.
She
the
had a
belly
hair bump
situation.
because of the baby bump.
She had, exactly. Well, but I mean, her hair looked really great from the back because a lot of times they were having to shoot her from the back
sure.
so that to hide the bump or the convenient pillow in
Yeah.
front. And
Yeah.
I think there was some misdirection with look at
course,
the
yeah.
hair, don't look down here, look at
Yes.
that hair.
And I looked at
it worked with me.
That black headband and those bangs and that bun. I was like, yeah.
She had the big
Don't
old
ruin it.
sock bun
Yes,
thing too.
I love
Yeah.
the bun. The bun was my favorite.
The bun with the ponytail in the
Yeah.
breakup scene. That
Yeah.
was my favorite, actually.
It was great.
How about you, John?
First of all, I'm not even sure what a sock bun is, but I love that you guys know.
It's a sock, and you
Sure we
roll
do.
your hair down on it, so it's a perfect bun.
Okay.
She doesn't, and I don't, but
Yeah, right.
people do
Okay. All right. So,
It's just true.
because I can't.
all right.
Yeah, drinks.
But yeah. I mean, did anybody, when the Magda started pouring cocktails, and she, of course, doesn't have, she says no, Trixie says no to one. Did
Yeah.
you ever think that was going to come back?
No, I didn't. I really
No.
didn't. Because Trixie is so she's so secure in her sobriety,
Yes.
in my mind. And no, thanks, not for me.
Yeah.
I'm good.
But that's why they're also great, because the sobriety thing is always just right at the edge of falling
Yes.
off.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
fact that that moment, of
That
course,
did it,
that would be
yeah.
something to knock you off your feet in life. Like,
Yeah.
so what would you do? You would screw up your sobriety.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Go, no, don't do it.
But she
Don't do
enjoyed it too much, too.
Yeah, she did the relief on her face
Oh
that
my
came
God.
once she swallowed. First of all, she smells and was like, "Yep, this is
Yeah.
the stuff.
This is what I remember.
Yeah.
This is the stuff. This is the stuff."
Yes, it is. It's great stuff.
Yeah, and then the relief on her face when she drank, and the heartbreak of implications of all of that for us.
Yeah.
She'll get there eventually. We know Helen George goes off the show.
Yeah.
Perhaps this episode, perhaps next episode.
Well, we saw her in the coming up.
Oh, we did. She
She's
wasn't
part of
coming
it.
up. Okay.
Yeah, because she gets caught.
So somebody tweeted me about a prediction that before this episode came on, so this was last week, that Trixie was going to go to rehab. Did they have rehab back then? Does anybody know?
Sure, yeah. They had
They
places
did?
to dry out.
Places
yeah.
to-
Yeah.
So I think of the Betty Ford Clinic.
Well,
Yeah.
as I
Until later.
recall.
That's like
Yeah, John.
70s. What were y'all
Yeah,
doing?
poor Trixie, indeed. Yes.
Yeah, poor Trixie. Yeah.
Poor Trixie.
But very
Yeah.
well done. It was
Yeah.
very well done. I love how they shot with the glasses, and she touched the rim, and then she picked up the shaker and like opened it. And
It
smelled
was
just
beautifully shot. You're right.
Like, it was
Yeah, I
really
agree with
beautiful.
that. Yeah.
As you guys take a drink.
I have to soothe my
Watch,
soul.
watch the relief come across my face.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh, well, so let's go to something more lighthearted. Let's talk about Magda.
Magda made,
Yeah.
oh man.
So-
That actually infuriated me.
Yeah, the whole storyline?
Really?
Yeah.
I was pissed.
Tell us why.
Well, because it's 2018 and that question still remains.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But anyway,
Yeah. All right, so we still have Timothy being very smitten.
yes.
Yes.
And, I thought it was great how they started off because, she has a night off or she has time off or whatever like that, and he's going to teach her how to play cricket.
Well, she tutors him in his
Sure,
French.
because, what else are you going to do?
One of the tweets I saw, my news is just going to be coming from tweets today.
Okay, that's fine.
But one of the tweets I saw was, good on Timothy for knowing the way to a Hungarian woman's heart is by teaching her cricket.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
That's I've read that somewhere. So, and then Sheila, of course, decides to go to Val. Yeah, but first off, I thought it was great. Why don't you go see the gals in the
Nonnatus House? They always seem so busy.
They always talk about how glamorous she is and she's so worldly. It's like, that's where somebody who's glamorous should go to Nonnatus.
That's where Sheila can kind of keep an eye on her.
Exactly. But then she asked Val, and Val's thought is, let's go bring her to Keep Fit.
Yes, let's all work out together.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah.
Things happen and keep fit.
Yeah, we always have a laugh. So.
We do always have a laugh.
We have a giggle.
Yeah, is that what it was? Have a giggle?
We have a giggle.
Thank you. And then when you get there, and she's all gung-ho about the whole thing. And then we saw a nice little friendship forming with her and Val. So that was
Over the
nice.
chocolates?
Even before that, but the chocolates are great.
Yeah.
Of course, the chocolates lead us to the
Ugliness that happens later.
exactly.
I did not realize that was happening at all until I watched it the second time. I usually watch the show twice.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, she was just in a fridge with chocolates. I didn't hear because I'm not familiar with that drug.
Ergometrin.
Ergometrin, and it didn't. It sort of went right over my head.
Right,
I didn't hear her say that, and so it was very nicely, subtly played in there that as a way for Magda to find that drug later.
And she just goes to get a checkup. And we also get the backstory. I forgot when she's making cocktails and making the dress.
Homemade dress,
the
part of the
homemade dress,
beauty
the homemade
contest.
dress
Yes.
contest. And then Val's helping her stuff. And then they have the cocktails, and then we learn, she did meet somebody in Paris, and that was fun. That's where we had the guy that was the beater.
But before she even got to Paris, her fleeing from Hungary,
that whole story,
digging holes and crawling through,
and just missing the searchlights,
the burnt mastics for the eyeliner,
beet juice for the rouge.
Yeah, digging the hole under the fence and everything like that. This is fun. And then you get all the way to Paris and think, hey, this is finally.
And then he clocks you in the back of the head.
Yeah, nice, great.
Yeah,
So
awesome
we go to
guy.
London. So
Great guy.
that's why I'm sure she says I like London better.
Yeah, I got away from him.
Yeah. So, but of course, she didn't get completely away with him because she finds out she's pregnant.
Of course.
And that conversation there with whoever that
The woman at
health
the
professional
women's
was.
advice
Yeah,
clinic.
exactly. I was like,
Birth control is only prescribed to married women.
It's so angering.
Do you guys want to rant on that for a bit?
Like, it just doesn't even make logical sense ever in life. Like, it's just not logic, and that's why it's so frustrating.
Well, it does if you don't want single women to have any fun or to do anything outside of marriage.
But you're fine with single men having fun.
Right.
So
Yes.
who are they having fun
Exactly.
with? That's why it makes no
Exactly.
logical sense. The argument does not hold.
Thank you.
Anyway.
I don't see an issue there.
Yeah.
I know you're on our side, so just keep trying.
But then when she asks, this is England.
Yes. We
this-
don't do that here.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were like, if that's true, like that you could get an abortion like normal. It was legal in Hungary and like all that. I was surprised by that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. In a communist country with great disdain.
surprised.
Probably because
Yeah, I
there were
was
too many to
surprised,
feed, and they didn't.
They were
have
like,
enough
get
food.
rid of them. We don't
that's
want
right.
any
It's like,
more.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, who knows? I don't know.
That was interesting though.
Yeah, that was something I hadn't heard before.
Yeah.
But then when you're thinking about it, and you're going, right? She has nothing. She has no support system. No friends. No real. I mean, because she just got there.
She just
Clearly,
got
she has no
there.
family and everything. And I'm wondering, because I didn't know, and we didn't hear anything, and you just assume whatever family she had back in Hungary, if she did, what could they do?
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, nothing. So there's nowhere to turn.
Nothing.
And in her mind at least, what kind of life is there to be saddled with this one? I can't afford a baby. I can't. But there are
What do
no
you do?
options. No options. And again, it was just like the families. Like, again, here's another family. No good option.
Good option.
No good option.
Ugh. But
Yeah.
her desperation when she was asking about knowing if you know a lady, is there anybody? And when Val was like, please promise me, don't do it.
Yeah.
It's like, this is gonna go so bad. This is gonna go so bad, girl. Oh God.
Yeah.
I didn't see how they were gonna make it go that bad.
Yeah.
I was scared it was gonna be a hanger situation.
Yeah, I did too. It was just
but-
like, really? Oh my God.
But they
this
went
is-
to the drugs, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Now, when she started reading the books,
Yeah.
you didn't see it coming, did you? Like why she was reading? You bought
No,
her
I didn't.
story.
I didn't. I wasn't exactly sure. Yeah, I didn't.
I saw
didn't
it
take
right away.
Yeah, you did that. So you knew that.
Right
one.
away. I need your
Agreed.
books.
Especially when she sat down at the table, because I was like, oh, she's not gonna tell them. But then she asked for the nursing books. I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Scary.
Yeah.
That's scary.
And tries the pills. That's not been working. So we got to go another round.
And
And
she chugged them. She was just
Yeah.
like, throw back.
All day long.
Oh my
They were
God.
Tic Tacs. Yeesh. And I didn't. We didn't have enough time to do any research on ergometrin before we came up. So I'm wondering if that was common, or if that was, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So
'Cause I
it's
just- I
obviously
just
in the
but
books.
yeah, the
it was
pills
like
weren't
a
working.
Pitocin.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So we got to step it up. So that's when she remembers about the chocolate, and it's or next to or behind the ergometrin in the fridge, and so
And she needs a syringe.
a
All
nice
I could-
plan.
All I could think was, girl, can't you do the pageant first? Because you're going to be in pain at the pageant trying to get rid of it. And then I was like, okay, I guess you got to go when everybody's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
So,
thing because she had
yeah,
to
But
exactly.
That was
yeah.
a good plan, though.
It was a good
Everybody's
plan.
here. They sold out the
Smart.
place, right?
Nobody's gonna
So
catch
nobody's
me.
gonna- Yeah,
Nobody's gonna
exactly.
see.
Yep. So, and if all people to hear
Monica Joan.
Monica
Yeah.
Joan. That was just that, I don't know, anytime Monica Joan's in a scene and you're not sure where she is and on the awareness at that chart,
Right.
that moment, and just the look, especially on Monica Joan, the look on her is like, you can see all the consternation. How first of all, she looks like she's trying to figure out what's going on, and then
Yeah.
how can she be of assistance, and then struggling to try to figure out who to talk to and what to say.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she's doing that, but that's what I'm reading into it like
Right.
crazy, and it
Yeah.
just
Sold
It's
it all.
gut-wrenching.
It's amazing.
because
Yeah.
you don't know if she's going to have the wherewithal to be able to relay what's going on.
Yeah. And shout out to Magda. I felt so much anxiety while she was trying to put that needle together and like getting the medicine
Yeah.
in there, and then she's breaking it and the hands are shaking. Like I was on the edge of my seat. I also hate needles. But the fact that she could stab herself in her
Yeah.
lady bits. Whoever writes this stuff, like, wow.
Yeah, it was huge drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then to be able to cut between that and the pageant and make it work.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just
Right.
juxtaposing those two things, and you're just going, yeah, I'm going.
No, and also think about how long was Magda in pain, physical pain.
Right.
Because she started bleeding
Yeah.
the one night. Then after she started taking the ergometrin pills,
Yeah.
she's in the bathroom,
Yeah.
you know, having pain, goes upstairs, no, I'll take care of the baby. Then the next day, so it's a couple of days
Yeah.
Yeah.
that she's probably agonizing physically as well as psychologically
Yeah.
over this. So then when she finishes injecting, there's blood on the back of her skirt as she's staggering towards and ultimately passes out in the garden. You pointed out how bad she looked. You know,
Yeah, her lips were.
she was so pale.
ashen and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, jeez.
And Dr. Turner later talked about the fact that if Val hadn't and Sheila hadn't found her, she probably would have died.
Yeah. Which I'm sure is not
would have died for
uncommon in those situations. So. And then Sheila, of course, thinking that
Exactly.
that she's at fault
She's
because
the
I gave her
one.
she's
Gave
my
her the
where
books.
she's an our employee and I gave
Yeah.
her the books. It's
Yeah.
like wow. So, yeah, and much like Trixie feeling responsible for
Yep.
Alexandra.
And Val feeling also
Yes.
responsible.
Yes, yeah. It was like,
I should have said
Yeah.
something.
everybody take that responsibility.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the sort of repercussions that Sister Winifred brings up. I think it
Oh,
was Winifred
yeah,
who
that's
said there
right.
was an
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
abortion on
On
the
the
convent
convent,
grounds
yeah.
and someone stole drugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is there going to be an inquiry or
Yeah.
is something going to happen? So my question was, why did Magda leave?
Well, I think that's what it was. I
Was
think
she
it's some-
escaping the potential.
Well, Julian says, I think she's suffered
She's
enough.
suffered
I'm not
enough,
going
don't do it
to
Right.
create more pain for her.
Right.
But I think, because, why would you go back to Paris? I don't, first of all, we don't know that that's where she's going. We just know that's what she said. And she might have just been doing that to, give an excuse for the kids so that they don't feel bad.
Right.
But we know that she's obviously not sticking around Poplar. We just know that. So I can only assume because she, I don't know, I guess. That's a great question to ask everybody what their thoughts are.
Yeah.
Why did she leave? I don't know. Did she feel like she betrayed their trust, or because of now that they know she's not?
She's probably embarrassed.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Because there's no indication that the Turner said, "Hey, you got to leave."
Yeah.
Write to us.
But
please
yeah,
let
but
us
there
know how
wasn't.
you're
There
doing.
was also no indication that the Turner was saying, "Please don't go."
Yeah.
So we don't know what transpired between them. It's all left up to our own imagination.
Yeah.
And that also made me angry because I'm like, you just took us on this whole journey with this woman, and now she's going away. Like I want to be there with her some more, the way we're with everybody else.
I also wanted to, I said it, I think last week, that I really wanted there to be the continued torture of Timothy,
Right.
To have that, puppy love really play out. And
Well,
it didn't. So, there was
Well,
plenty of pain.
Clearly,
in
this was
but-
torture.
Obviously.
Yeah, but it was just for Magda. But it is interesting because was she somehow forced out, or did her own embarrassment or shame make her leave? What's
Do you
your
feel
best
like
guess?
they needed to answer?
No, they don't need to. I like that they left it open. I don't know that I
Yeah.
like it so much as it just leaves it unresolved. It's okay for me. It's just I'm just curious what would be the reason? Why would she feel like she had to leave? Was it a legal thing? Because she did steal drugs?
And that's what I assume it's shame. Because she stole the drugs, so she's broken the trust of not only the family that's been there for her, but she's also broken the community trust.
Sure.
Like she broke in there, and like
Right.
that
But
would not be something.
I would agree with you on that. But I also would think that they would embrace her anyway because they understand her situation, and if anything, we've learned how forgiving they are. And I was wondering why there wasn't some sort of, because it would have been more gut wrenching to have to say, "Look, you don't have to. We understand. We can make this out," and have her still say,
wanna leave,
"No, I can't." After what I've done.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe
So,
it was in there. We just got.
Yeah, I just don't know.
Maybe that'll be in the American era.
So
I do want to say that Nina Yidnes, who is the actress who played Magda, tweeted out, "Thank you all so much for the support towards Magda. I hope this episode encourages discussion about the abortion laws in Northern Ireland."
ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, way to get political.
All right, girl.
All right. So yeah, she leaves. So I'm going to ask that of all our listeners. What do they think? Why do they think that Magda left?
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah,
to
I
hear
have one
somebody's
that
opinions.
says maybe Magda was worried about possible repercussions if the hospital reported it, or didn't want the Turners to get in trouble
Yeah, that was the other thing. I
because
was
they were
thinking,
her host and
Yeah.
sponsored her.
Although I don't know how they'd be responsible, but I guess just in terms of public
just
opinion,
looks bad,
she could.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But how's it going to get out?
Right, because here's
Who's
the
gonna
other.
know?
Here's the other thing
not like the
is
sisters
She was
are gonna
still
tell.
pregnant and single.
Yeah, but again,
And the
who
doctors know, hospitals talk, nurses
do you think that
talk.
you think they let that out?
I mean, nurses talk.
Doesn't they have HIPAA laws over there?
Did you not see what
No.
happened in the hair
Don't.
salons?
Yeah.
You know?
But I'm just thinking that I don't think any of the nuns are going to say anything.
The
or the
nuns
midwives.
probably
Yeah.
won't, but there's other people.
you
in
never
the
know who could have
hospital.
walked by the garden.
Right.
Yeah.
Fred's
Yeah, but-
garden and seen her passed out.
But they could have easily said they wouldn't have known why
It's
she
a
was passed
small
out.
town, John. Everybody
right.
knows everything.
Everybody
Yeah,
knows
but
everybody's business.
I
It's
don't.
a small community. They would be like, "You remember that girl? She had blood on her hands." Yes, I think
Yeah,
was
she didn't go to the beauty
And-
contest.
And that lady, she was in the maternity clinic trying to get pills. And yeah, it would get out for sure.
Right, because if nothing else, I think that woman at the women's clinic, she would have been a gossip.
Yep.
Because she was disdainful of Magna.
When she found out,
Yeah.
there is no fiance, is there?
Okay.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, she's the weak link
Yeah.
right there
Right,
because she
right
has
there.
no personal ties to anybody else.
Oh, we could easily shut her up though. She's Hungarian. Then take her out.
We're
Boom.
gonna break her
That's
legs.
it. Yeah, exactly. It's done.
Okay. All right.
That's no problem there.
Okay.
Or we could have just given birth control to women. Period.
All right. Well, I
So
guess that
there.
wraps Magda up. Let's
Yeah.
let's move on to the I guess the ray of hope, the ray
The
of
only
sunshine.
light moments.
We get a little relief with Fred and Violet, and they're instead of a jumble sale, we got the beauty pageant idea because he wants to see
See all the local girls in their smalls.
in their smalls.
I love Fred.
And Violet.
I wrote it like 3 times.
They're
I love
smalls.
Fred.
They're smalls. I say, what? Where is that a common thing? Where did that one come from? Is that, I mean, do they still use that term? I've never heard that.
We're going to have to ask
Yeah,
somebody.
I've heard
Let us know,
nothings. I've heard
guys.
unmentionables. I've heard all of it. The smalls. I've never.
small.
Yeah.
Nope.
That was nice.
Oh, fair point. Back up just a second.
Yeah.
They had to do a DNC on Magda in the hospital.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
So they would have known about the drugs and the abortion in the hospital. There are all kinds of people in the hospital who would have known.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they would have known about the drugs. They would have known about the
They would have
DNC.
just
They
assumed she
don't.
was
I don't know if that they would.
miscarrying,
Yeah,
probably.
they would. They don't necessarily know that there was drugs involved. I mean, maybe, but I mean, it's not like
Yeah,
would they do a
maybe.
tox screen or something like that? I mean,
No.
they clearly would have
Because she
figured
just would
out.
have been in the process of miscarriage.
Yeah,
and
miscarriage of some sort.
assuming
So
that-
they definitely would have known for sure.
But
but
it still would have got talked about.
So you
the
think
point that she had a
Yeah.
DNC was she was pregnant,
Right.
she is single, and therefore that information would be
Even that would be
gossip.
scandalous.
Okay, gossip
right.
And that, again,
Yeah.
that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that would have caused enough of a scandal for her to not embarrass.
Get out of there, girl. Going back to Paris.
Yeah.
Go back
yeah.
to Paris, but
Maybe-
stay away
maybe
from
go
the
to the
dude.
south
And I was,
side.
but okay, just real
Exactly.
quickly, but I go on. Yeah, say Paris to the kid, fine, but don't go back to Paris.
Yeah.
No.
I'm guessing
No.
home dude is there.
Yeah.
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 You get another au pair job
Maybe
somewhere else,
she'll-
and
maybe she just meant
London.
France, and she'll
Yeah.
go to like Marseille.
yeah.
or,
All right.
you
Anyway,
know.
okay. So we're at the beauty pageant. We're getting ready for the beauty pageant.
They still
and-
use the word smalls, just so you know.
Do they?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I have it on
Okay,
good
great.
authority.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
I'm
to
afraid to
know.
ask what the larges are. So.
No need.
So it's decided that they're going to do the beauty pageant, and then Violet gets the idea that we'll have the best homemade dress.
Best homemade dress.
Best homemade dress, and I was like,
dress.
okay, great.
We're still
Yeah.
doing that, guys.
Yeah.
So
was
cute.
Awesome.
It was so great.
The best homemade dress. She was so excited. She's going to
That
get
was
all
like
the
the
new
most
ribbons.
brilliant thing
Yeah,
ever.
yeah,
Like, yay.
yeah. I thought that was great. And the other part that I thought was wonderful is that the older women weren't going to let any of their husbands
Husbands
go.
go. No.
Absolutely not. You
Yeah.
will not see them in their smalls.
In
Nope.
their smalls.
Nope.
Exactly.
Nope,
yeah.
nope, nope. It was great. It was great.
But of course, Fred has an idea to fix that too. Fred's coming up with all the ideas.
Fred
I tell
was
you.
smart,
Doing-
man.
He's doing his job. He's going pub hopping,
Yeah.
pub crawl,
He
whatever
went
you call
pub
it.
crawl.
Yeah, pub crawl, eating a bunch of pickled eggs. Was it?
Yes. Pickled
Yes.
eggs.
I loved that he was raining. He was raining.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Boom. Here you go, honey.
Yeah,
Passing
we
the
are
cash.
sold out.
After she called him an idle drunken beggar, he was like, but look what I did. Look what I
Not
did
so
for you."
idle.
Drunken maybe,
But not so
and probably a little
idle.
begging
Little
involved,
begging
but not idle. Yeah. So we got a sold out house. for this
Phil,
event.
so at the dinner table at
Yeah.
Nonnatus House, where we were discussing the beauty pageant,
Right.
and there were a couple of moments that were awkward
Oh,
there.
you're gonna wear a swimsuit and all that other
Yeah.
stuff.
Right, and Lucy saying, "Oh, my mother would send me
Send me
back
back
on a
on
boat
a boat,
immediately if
baby."
she knew I was." It's okay for you,
You do that, girl.
but not me. And then Phyllis comparing them to prize
Prize
cows,
cows.
Yeah. Yeah.
and poor
Okay.
Val's kind of sitting there going,
Yeah.
Should I wait? Should I?
I do this? I
Is
don't
this
know.
really?
Oh,
But
I
then
can
Monica
picture now.
Jones talking about them being the
Yeah.
sacrifice
Fertility
to the fertility
yeah.
gods. and all
Oh,
that.
yeah.
It's just like-
Right now, all I can think of
Offerings
is
to the fertility.
I can only
gods.
think of cows wearing their smalls. That's all I can think of. at the moment. So, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
so
it was
Val's
great.
rethinking, but and then of course I like that moment when she's talking to Sister Julian and she
Yeah.
wants to represent Nonnatus.
Yeah, Miss
That was great.
Miss Nonnatus.
Yes, yeah.
Sister Julian was like,
wearing smalls.
Or
Wearing your
perhaps
bikinis.
Miss Black Sail Public House.
So diplomatic.
And Val.
Tactfully done. Got it. Right. Check. Yeah. Understand.
That worked out. That worked
That
out.
was that didn't. Okay, and then we get the moment when they're in the auditorium or whatever it was. We're on stage and we have Val trying to walk.
Oh, for the
across-
rehearsal.
Yes, the rehearsal. My
She's
God.
down.
Kind of
Gallops
walking like a
across.
horse.
Well, I thought it was a callback to the cow thing, you know,
Right?
because she's walking across like a cow,
Walking like livestock?
like a bull in a
Yeah.
china shop. It
It
was
was
exactly
rough.
livestock.
Yeah.
That was, and of course Magda just gliding across, and I'm going, it's a good thing that Magda didn't, and because she
No.
clearly
might
would
have-
have.
She would've-
would've
she was
won
a
this
ringer.
She, yeah.
Yeah.
she would have won this hands down,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then that would have been awkward.
That would have been
beauty
very
pageant
awkward. Yeah, 'cause
winner.
You would have had to strategically place that sash so we
Oh,
didn't
good
see.
gracious!
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
see the belly
Uh-huh.
for sure. But yeah.
So, what do we think of the winner, by the way?
Who is Ruth Godmarn? Why do we care? That's what I
She
want
was
to know.
Miss Weights and Measures office.
Oh, but
know.
come on.
She was pretty.
Clearly the best, right?
Why? Well, somebody was very upset.
Yeah. Contestant number 6.
So I did not go back and look at.
Inconsolable.
Yeah,
I
so-
love their she tells her to go help her out. She's like, I shall dispense tissues and words of comfort. I was like, so precious. It's so precious.
Again, I want those people when I'm having a down day.
You know?
Yeah.
Can you please
so
dispense
great.
tissues and words of comfort to me?
Yes.
I'll remember that. I'll do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. But Val,
Yeah.
not
well,
Miss
ladies,
Congeniality.
She
No.
got best homemade
Best
dress.
homemade dress,
That's right.
and it was the best.
The
Yeah,
girls
the-
that Nonnatus can sew.
Yes, they can.
I was thinking what a tragedy it would have been to. I mean, if Mrs. Lund was okay, she would have been able to make that.
I know. All that beautiful needlepoint.
No. So, but it was a good dress. So, for the fashion part of this particular episode, we liked it. It was a good dress.
I thought a lot of the dresses were great. I loved Magda's dress that she
Really?
was going to wear. The blue
blue.
with the like that bib thing,
Yes.
the light blue, white sort of bib with black
thought that
piping
she
and
had
black
yellow.
That's
buttons.
what she.
That was her homemade dress. Or
Oh,
her,
okay,
her other dress.
gotcha.
But what
Got
she
it.
was wearing when she went through the ordeal was a blue dress with like a white bib, black piping, and black buttons. It was very
really
snappy.
don't know how you
Super
remember.
It was really
adorable.
cute.
It was
really
super cute,
adorable.
right?
Yeah, I loved it.
It was.
Okay, so what does that register in some part of your brain, and then you have
the
instant
time.
recall?
What does it not
the
in
time.
yours?
No, I was like, I don't remember what you wore at
What's
all.
wrong with you?
No, I just this is as much as I remember of Magda. Oh, it's yellow. That's what I remember of Magda's
carrying
dress.
it around,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it. It was an A line. It was cut on the bias. That's about it. I have no idea what
No.
it was. So
No, you got the words, but you don't.
yeah,
have it,
exactly.
You don't have it right.
I'm just
It's
making
okay,
this
though.
up.
It's okay. You
So-
notice other things.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
it
do,
is.
John. You notice other things.
Right, the best dress.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got news, right?
I have news. Well,
Yeah.
I have tweets I want to read.
All right. Well, that's it. I mean, unless there's anything else you want to talk
yeah.
about.
I just looked it on mine.
Yeah, we got it. All right, that's good because we only got a few minutes. Tamara.
Okay, so
tweets.
so these are tweets that I read. Some of them are some favorite tweets, and there was a little controversy with last night's episode. So apparently, what they call the continuity announcer, which is the person who speaks over the transition between two shows.
Right.
You know, coming up, we're going to see Call the Midwife, and this happens.
Right.
So the continuity announcer introduced this episode of Call the Midwife by saying it was for fans of nostalgia. And so Steve McGann, who plays Dr.
Dr.
Turner,
Turner.
said, in what possible universe could the story content of tonight's episode be introduced as gentle or nostalgia?
I think because when Magda was talking about her home
Okay.
life in Hungary, she was very nostalgic.
There's more. So he apparently used the words gentle and nostalgia.
Okay.
Made in the North said, sorry, but anyone who dares call the Midwife anything but brutal, visceral drama isn't watching. The writing is perfect and every performance nuanced. Helen George is incredible and I am broken. And then Paul Martin Smith said, at 8 p.m., the BBC announcer called Call the Midwife gentle nostalgia. What followed was an hour of sheer emotional terror, a series highlight, and that is really saying something for the show. 5 full buckets of tears out of 5 for tonight's show.
And Kelly Jones was the writer. So just so we
Yeah,
get that out
yeah.
there.
Brilliant.
So then a couple of other tweets I just want to read that
Sure.
were some favorite tweets of mine about the show. So David Collison, Davey CCC, said, Christmas emotionally destroyed me. Episode 1 emotionally destroyed me. Episode 2, glimmer of hope. Episode 3, took that hope and crushed it before my eyes.
So true.
Then John Oxley said, there aren't many TV programs that can have you laughing 1 minute and crying the next. Call the Midwife came bloody close tonight. Such a sad episode, so many goodbyes. Well done to the writers and all the actors. It was something special. Holly Joe said, Call the Midwife is by far my favorite show ever. Everything about it fills my heart with warmth. To me, it captures the very heart of true midwifery in all its beauty and at times sorrow. Sleepy Rope said, I want to protect every woman in this show. And that's one of the things I think you and I feel a lot. And then All About Jules said, right, Call the Midwife. I have the flu and I have no tissues left. Is there a tiny chance you could spare me some weeping and wailing tonight, or should I invest in sleeves? I'm too delicate for a loo roll. What's next? No chance? Bring it on. I'll make do and mend, which is what we do every week. because sometimes there aren't enough tissues.
There aren't.
So so those are some of my favorite tweets.
All right, so let's just think about next week. So we're looking. We've seen the coming up. So we know that she's off the wagon, Trixie,
Gonna fuck up.
and we know that Phyllis confronts her.
Oops, sorry.
I said a bad word.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all right. Johnny was talking over you.
My
Maybe they
bad.
didn't.
I
hear.
didn't.
It's
hear
okay.
it. I didn't even hear it.
And then
said.
there's a new family that has apparently polygamy going on.
Well, yeah, he brings a new wife.
He brings a new wife.
Without telling the first one.
Right.
And she's pregnant. That's trifling.
Well, we haven't seen that.
Definitely haven't.
So this is episode 4, and
Yeah.
we have 8.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be halfway through.
It goes so fast.
Yeah, I know. And do we know if this is the last one for Trixie for this series?
We don't know.
Okay.
I think it seems to me she said 4 or 5 that she did. Not 100% sure about that. There's a lot going on in this.
Yeah,
I
because
can't
they're gonna have to do
remember
a
everything.
lot more misdirection.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, she was definitely not in her leotard at Keep Fit.
She's just gonna have
she
a
was
bottle right here.
embarrassed.
Yeah, she's just going to have like the gallo.
Yeah,
you know,
jugs of
the
wine.
Jug of
Jug of
wine.
wine.
She's going to
Something
hold that
yeah,
in front of her.
yeah,
Explain
exactly.
all of it, yeah.
All right.
And then a fair amount of like shots of her back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not big on predictions.
No, we don't have to make any. I'm just. That's
Someone
what we have
asked
to
us
look
last
forward to.
week,
Yeah, why don't
why
make
we didn't
predictions?
do predictions. Last week we ran out of time. You know this about me, John. I think you probably know this about me, Courtney. I like to just be taken on the
Taken on
ride.
the ride.
I don't really love trying to figure it out. I love and trust this show so much. And I love and trust the writing and the directing that I just settle in and let them take me for the ride.
And when you
So-
did project, you were hoping that Magda would stick
Stick
around for the
around.
Timothy thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it
Didn't
wrong.
work, man. Nobody saw her
No, I'm just saying it was a
leaving.
disappointment.
No, it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
so-
yeah.
We didn't want her to go.
Yeah, I know. I really liked
But you
her.
two both have really good predictions, so I'm going to leave it open for you to do that if you want.
I'm scared because I just have serious concerns about what Trixie's falling off the wagon is going to result in. That obviously is going to cause, because it has to cause something
Of course.
tragic or
Yeah.
terrible. And I'm
And
like,
it's causing a huge rift just with Phyllis.
Yeah.
'cause
They're not going to kill her, are they?
No.
no. Well, we said, didn't we say nobody's dying? Or somebody
Yeah.
said
Thank
that?
you. Yes, I did say
Somebody
that. I
said
should
that.
listen to what I have to say.
Yeah.
you get that.
But that doesn't mean that no main character will die, but that doesn't mean she won't cause the death of someone else. And I just can't bear more weight for her to carry.
Oh my God.
Like, I can't, after this episode, like, I can't, like, she can't have something that terrible happen.
No.
To
She's
go
had so
away.
much. She's had a lot of tragedy
Yeah,
in her
well,
life.
still
a
got
lot
to
of
hit
pain.
bottom.
Yeah, I guess you do. You kind of would have thought she had, but she
Well,
hasn't.
she's lost Dr. Chris, but we expect that there's more to happen because
Right.
clearly she's not done.
Right,
So
right.
what'll that be? Yeesh.
I don't know. It's too much.
I'm ready. I mean, I'll be ready
I mean,
when
I'm
it
gonna
happens.
watch, but it's too much.
You know, I was talking to somebody. I go, "Don't binge it. It's too hard. to
No,
hard.
it's not.
You need time between
Yeah.
them.
Yes, there needs to be recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to, fortify yourself.
Hydrate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hydrate between episodes.
Yeah, you need to hydrate. You need to go find love somewhere in the world
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
minute
exactly. You
and just
need
be
to-
embraced by
You need
it. So you forget about the
to,
tragedy that also
you need to
exists.
stock up on
Yeah.
tissues. And,
Apparently, Trixie said 4 episodes. So next
Okay.
week would be her
Okay.
4th episode.
Okay.
She
Great.
gonna kill
Thank you very
somebody.
much.
She gonna
Oh
kill
no!
Oh, my
no.
God.
Ooh, what if she
Oh
goes
my God!
to
If she
jail?
causes a baby.
Like, that's what I feel like it's gonna cause, like the death
like
of a
malpractice?
child, like
Oh
a
my
malpractice
God.
situation. And that would be horrible for her soul.
On that note, let's leave everybody considering that as we wrap up and say goodbye. Courtney, tell them where they can find you.
Oh my God.
I'll be sitting in my house crying in my bathroom at Stewart Starlet on Instagram and Twitter.
You can find me on Twitter at Tamara Berg. Tamara A. Berg on Instagram.
And I've decided that I only have an anti-social media presence. You can't find
You
me
know,
anywhere.
if you're not on any social media, we just name you. You know you're Lord Comerford
Is that
on
right?
Twitter.
That's
Yes.
all right.
That's
Hashtag
in
Lord
trouble.
Comerford.
All right,
Oh, and
well-
P.S. After your opening earlier today, a couple of people were asking if you had been drinking.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Gee.
I mumbled through all that. Yeah, exactly. I tell you, I got to write them down or think of them
Write it down.
10 seconds before is not cutting it.
Not quite
Yeah.
enough.
All right.
Thanks everybody for hanging out with us.
Yes.
I love our interactions on Twitter. It's
So
been
great.
really
We
great.
appreciate
Yes,
it.
I love this show so
And
much.
I love that they warned me what
Yeah.
I'm in store for.
I know.
Yes.
right?
Thank you very much, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.
Talk to you next time. Thanks.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. Cup of tea, shot of brandy.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.